Well, you guys wanted it. Everybody wanted it. So, let's talk about Game of Thrones. Let's talk about episode number 5 of Game of Thrones. Now, first I want to say this. I've heard some people in reviews before, in the last maybe 5 weeks, talk about sort of casual Game of Thrones viewers, where stuff doesn't bother them as much because they're more of a casual fan. They're just enjoying the mayhem and whatever else. Now, I'm kind of like that. That's me, man. But you know what I mean? But still, despite being a fairly casual Game of Thrones listener, viewer, I would say that maybe I don't get as angry, but I still understand when characters are working completely out of character, or when things just don't make any sense, and what poor decision making and writing is. If you ever watched wrestling in your life, these last few episodes have been straight out of WWE Vince McMahon's wrestling playbook. Things that you think are going to happen don't happen, but not because of the story arc or for any other reason other than they didn't see that coming. And when you do that, sometimes it's unbelievable. Now, when one character does something kind of whacked out, you can kind of accept that maybe that character made a crazy decision or whatever else may be. But let's get right into it. And I apologize. I am sick. I don't know if I'm sick, but I've got major allergies right now. So I'm coughing and all kinds of noises. I'm sorry. But whatever. Let me say real quick, get out of what I did like about Game of Thrones really quickly. What I did like about Game of Thrones really quickly. Well executed as far as the battle scenes, the cutting, and the paces and stuff like that. I thought those were done well. The acting, great. The acting is phenomenal, despite some of the stuff given and whatever else. The acting I thought was great from everybody. Absolutely amazing acting. The Clegane Bowl or whatever they call it. I never really know that much about it. You know, I heard everybody's been talking about them facing off for a while. It always made sense to me. I'm like, the last episode, the Hound is going to get, you know, a piece of his brother, you know what I mean? And they're going to fight and probably both die or who knows what's going to happen. I thought he might do it protecting Arya so she could kill Cersei, but that's not what happens. By the way, spoilers. I'm going to be all spoilers right now, so just duh. But yeah, I always thought that Arya was about to kill Cersei, and then the Hound, or rather the monster, his brother. Fuck, I can't remember names right now. I don't even care. I'm so mad I can't even remember names. I thought, you know, he was going to kill the Mountain, rather. The Mountain was going to kill Arya, and she was going to have to, and then the Hound was going to show up to kind of take care of him, and then, you know, from there, either Arya would die trying to kill Cersei, or she would kill her. I thought before that, or after that, Jon Snow would end up having to kill the Night King, or Bran would have to kill the Night King somehow, or he would have to kill himself because he is the Night King. All these different things that completely went out the window after the last few episodes, and now this episode. The worst thing in this episode is Jaime Lannister. What in the fudge? Dude, I want to swear. I mean, I can if I want. You know what? Fuck, I did. I swore. What the fuck? Jaime fucking Lannister. I hate this guy, right? I hated him at the beginning. I didn't even like him when he was redeeming himself. I was like, no, fuck him. He pushed a kid out the window. F him, he pushed a kid out the window. And it's like redemption beyond redemption beyond redemption beyond redemption. And honestly, dude, I honestly thought his final redemption might be. Then my other predictions were Arya's going to wear his face or whatever. But then I thought he would end up having to kill Cersei himself. Like, he would realize that if Cersei doesn't die, all these people are going to die in this war, in this fight. And at the very end, she just won't hold the troops down. She's torturing people, and, you know, they're killing people, and like, he basically has to kill his sister that he loves. And, like, he might be, like, crying over it and upset, but he does it because it's the right thing to do. That would have been, like, the ultimate redemption. Instead, Jaime Lannister, he just goes, oh, hey, I'm going to go back and see Cersei because I'm really a piece of garbage. And then he rides away, and I'm like, are you serious? Well, that's not what he's going to do. That is what he did. He literally, the show ends with him being buried in a pile of rubble with Cersei. Two of the most unsatisfying deaths ever. I wanted to see Cersei stabbed, bleeding, as she like lunges and falls and is bleeding towards maybe the top of a building somewhere or tower, and she falls off the tower bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Like a crazy death. You know, she's bleeding from all over the place, and she's gonna die, and she falls off and dies finally. And there's like a big ovation. The bitch is finally dead. But no. Instead, they're just in a pile of rocks. They get trapped in it, and Jaime's like, all that matters is us, and then they get buried in it. Because, oh, you thought the Night King was the major boss? No, it's not the Night King. Cersei is the final boss. Oh, look out for Cersei. Oh, no, you thought that? No, it's Daenerys! One of the biggest problems with this episode is why everybody just flips a switch all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Daenerys, I'm going crazy. All of a sudden, Cersei, I'm just fucking crying and I don't know what to do anymore, and I'm just gonna die. Jaime Lannister, all this fucking build-up and redemption, and all of a sudden just, you know, oh, I'm just gonna go back to her. I'm gonna go give her a hug. Everything I did is undone. All the building up leading to the final redemption, perhaps. You like really, at this point, there was no need for Jaime Lannister to be there. Right? I mean, the bell rang. I don't even know who rang the bell. Do we ever figure that out? I don't even know if we figured that out. But either way, there's literally no reason for Jaime Lannister to be there. I would almost bet that if there was a book, Jaime Lannister would have died fighting the Night King. You know what I'm saying? You almost would have preferred that, right? You almost would have preferred that Jaime Lannister fought the Night King. You almost would have preferred Jaime Lannister fought the Night King. Or you would have preferred, like, he faced Cersei at the gates and was like, let me in, Cersei. Like, I need, you know, there's better ways we can resolve this and whatever else. And then she's looking at her brother Jaime, and Jaime's looking up at her, and he's kind of almost crying. And she's looking down at him, and a tear does flow down her eye. And she orders them to shoot him, but like with, you know, with a small gesture. And they shoot Jaime in front of her. And she watches her brother die, and Jaime died trying to do the right thing. Like, that would have been better. That would have been more redeeming. Instead, oh, no, back to Cersei. Back to the girl. Like, oh, I used to push kids out the window and bang my sister. And he's right back to that. Comes full circle for Jaime Lannister. It's like become one of the biggest scumbags to start, and then slowly redeem. Oh, never mind. Unbelievable. And this show is all for Daenerys. They did all of this for Daenerys. Dude, what happened to the Scorpions? Well, did they just get lucky when they had one scorpion before? When they had one scorpion, they killed the dragon with one scorpion. And then a few more, they killed the other dragon, right? And now now they have more scorpions than ever. They have a fleet of ships. They have walls over the fucking scorpion. All of a sudden, they can't kill the dragon. I thought before that the scorpions were way overpowered. The fact that they killed dragons the way they did, I thought was ridiculous. The first one, okay, they didn't see it coming, right? Like the dragon, nobody knew they had these spears. These scorpions, they had no idea, right? So maybe they got one of the dragons. But the fact that they then killed two dragons, and then when they had more scorpions than ever, couldn't kill the one dragon left. When that's all they knew they had to do. It was, I mean, that was out of character. That was out of everything. Everything was out of character. Everything was. The scorpions, the ability to kill a dragon with these spears was completely out of sync. How the dragon was able to avoid them and kill people, that was completely out of sync. They underpowered the dragon and then overpowered the dragon. And then they overpowered the shit out of the scorpions before, and now they underpowered them. It was almost like you kept waiting for them to realize they have to devise a way to take out these scorpions and these harpoons before they send the dragon in. Because, yeah, sure, the dragon can probably take out 3, 4, 5 at a time, but with all of those being out there, he's not going to be able to target all of them at once. So that just seemed ridiculous. And this was all for Daenerys. The showrunners must love Daenerys, or like she said she wouldn't come back this season if she wasn't like crazy or something. I mean, it was just weird. She goes completely ballistic for no fucking reason. All she wants is the throne, to sit on the throne, and Cersei, she hates them, she hates the Lannisters. There was no reason to burn these people, to kill the people, and I know that's the point. She's gone mad. But out of nowhere, she had everything. There's no reason to go mad on them. Now we talked about her going mad on like Jon and going mad on her own people that were helping her. Once she gets jealous of Jon or sees what's going on, you know, she sees things ahead of time and makes assumptions and everything. You could see that. You could see how one could go a little bit crazy doing that. But what does that have to do with this situation? I don't understand that. And she wanted no tyrants and like people being ruled and innocent people dying, and yet she kills all these innocent people out of nowhere. What? Because bells rang. The bells ring, and which you think, oh, she said that she wouldn't do it once the bells ring. The bells ring, and she just goes, ah! I mean, I don't know. The writing, dude, these guys are a mess. These guys just want to go write Star Wars. They want to go write Star Wars. That's all there is to it. They're like, we have no idea what the fuck to do. The books aren't done. Oh, well, fucking, we got to come up with something. Here we go. Oh, well, now on to Star Wars. Now, Star Wars, the Knights of the Old Republic and all that have material, right? So that material's already written for these guys. Because these guys are the best at taking good material and sort of putting it together in movie form and then spitting it out. That's their best. That's what they're the best at, usually. But then again, these are the same guys that wrote Wolverine Origin, right? Wolverine Origins. These are those guys. You're seeing that right now. You're literally seeing that right now. And Wolverine had plenty of backstory. Wolverine had tons of comics, tons of backstory, tons of shit. And look what they did with Wolverine. I'm concerned for Star Wars fans out there. I mean, I mean, it could go either way. They're really good in these other Game of Thrones seasons of taking source material and then turning into something special. So maybe they'll be good with Star Wars. But I'm just saying, after you're seeing what you're seeing right now, and then think about Wolverine Origins with Deadpool and that and everything they did. Whoa. By the way, Varys dies earlier in the episode, right? And I don't care about how he died whenever I get it. Like, he's always paranoid and trying to look out for people. And he's, in the end, actually, is a good guy, pretty much. He really means what he says. He never flips or does anything crazy people thought might happen, you know? How come Dragonfire, nothing. The dragon burns him and they go with, like, a very quiet death. He doesn't scream or say, like, you'll see that I was right. Like look out for, you know, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. He just fucking burns. But I was like, wow, that's it, man. No screaming, no, because that would have really emphasized, like, wow, she's fucked up right now, you know, doing this. And, you know, then I saw online, I was reading conflicting arguments, like some people saying that Dragonfire kills people instantly, other people saying it doesn't. But then, like, 10 minutes later, people are all over the place, as the fire's burning their skin. So I'm confused. I'm fucking confused. All right. Another complaint of mine is, I would say my favorite character in the entire show, one of the most enjoyable things to watch ever is somebody's redemption. Somebody sort of redeemed themselves and sacrificed themselves or whatever. So that has gone out the window with Jaime Lannister. That has just gone out the window. My favorite character to watch in the whole series, the one that I love the most is Arya. I love Arya. But I'm sorry, last episode, and even the one where she kills the Night King and all that stuff, I was defending the hell out of her. I was like, man, she was trained to do this. She was trained to do all these things. It's not that crazy, and people were upset about it. Some people were, some people weren't. But this episode was annoying at how she just kept getting out of things. She's still alive. Oh, my God. I get it. Arya's insane. Like, Arya is legit, like, cannot be killed at this point. Like, she has become Rey from Star Wars at this point. Now, I didn't think that before. Everybody was like, oh, Mary Sue, here comes another female Mary Sue or whatever. And I was like, get out of here, man. This is different. She was trained. Get the fuck out of here, man. Arya's the shit. But this episode, man, wow. She got buffed, dude. I mean, like, Arya got buffed, and the dragon did, and so did Daenerys. And I don't know, it was just crazy, man. That part It was almost annoying this time. It was kind of cringy to watch. I get what they wanted, what the directors wanted. Like they all at the end of all these shows, when the directors go over what they wanted and what they were doing, a lot of it makes sense. I'm like, I get that, but I still don't get this or that or whatever. Yeah, her perspective on the ground and seeing the horror shit that, Daenerys is doing. But it's like, I hate when shows spend years building up somebody as the bad guy, and then in the end, that person never really gets the payoff, and then they switch it to some other person now. I hate that. I hate that more than anything. I've been waiting for fucking Cersei to be the one that they take out for this show to be over, and instead it's like, oh, yeah, she just dies in a pile of rubble but Daenerys, though, is the one. Oh, yeah. I find her, like, I don't even like Daenerys that much. I don't care about her that much. I don't care one way or the other that much about her. And so now it just feels like I've been robbed of something, and that's how I feel. And yeah, the Dragonfire, going back a minute ago, the Dragonfire consistency, whatever it is, I don't know. Also, Euron Greyjoy shows up at the beach at the same time as Jaime Lannister. That's weird. I feel like Euron Greyjoy, or whatever his name is, would either be with Cersei or would have just ran away. One of the others, or gone, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would have ran away or gone to, they had this, just a fight that I thought they would fight. I thought Jaime would end up having to fight him at some point, and he may even kill Jaime at some point, but not before Jaime was redeemed, I always felt. And then they have this sort of, I don't know, it was like underwhelming fight that didn't do anything for me at all. It could have not even been there. That felt forced. It felt like, they didn't have time to write another episode. So, well, we've got to get him cleared up so Jaime will kill him, like, at the end. It was just very thrown together. Who cares? Like, the guy had been built up as kind of this really psycho piece of shit. And that's all it was a fight on the beach. He was taken out by the dragon. There was a fight on the beach. And that's it. It was just, I mean, really, like, this was very weird. These are the writers of Wolverine Origins. The Hound, I think the Hound got the best death of the episode. The Hound's death was great. Fighting on the stairs with the castle falling apart. The way the mountain just smashed that creepy old wizard guy, I don't even remember his name, his head off the rocks, and his just brains are everywhere, and he's all fucked up, and Cersei just walks past them. I don't know, man. That part was good, but it was easy to do that part. Everyone knew that was coming. That was. I just can't believe this episode, man. I really can't. Thank God. Like I said, I'm sort of like a casual Game of Thrones. Like, I care. I've been watching every episode. I've been wasting years and hours in watching this show, so I do care. But it's like, I know there's some people that really, really, this is all they care about, and they love the shit out of this. And they live for all the lores and the backstories, the prophecies. That's another thing, prophecies. Oh, man, if you cared about prophecies, woo, out the window. Where is Bran, by the way? Where the fuck is Bran? I have to go now. What was the point in you? If he doesn't do something in the last episode that's, like, insanely epic, then there was no need for Bran at all, it feels like. What the hell was he going to do? I thought he was going to be the Night King. I thought he was going to have to kill himself to kill the Night King. I thought all kinds of stuff could happen. We even thought that this was going to be a flashback, that Bran was looking at this through the Raven's eyes and was like, all right, you got to do something different. When Bran goes and tells Jon, like, maybe Bran goes and tells Jon, like, you have to kill Daenerys. And Jon's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, I've seen it. And Jon's like, what the hell? And so Jon has to kill Daenerys. Jaime kills Cersei. Maybe Arya kills Cersei. And all these things happen the right way, and then the show ends. But instead, it was just, I mean, not only a swerve, but you had people out of character. So many characters flipped the switch in like an hour. They were like, oh, now I'm this way because the story says so. Now I'm this way. Now you're that way. Now this is going to happen. I mean, you go through the list. All of a sudden, the dragon is way overpowered. All of a sudden, scorpions are meaningless almost. All of a sudden, Euron Greyjoy is pretty much just a non-threat who couldn't even fight a one-armed guy. Arya can't die at all. She's gone full Superwoman. She can't die in the city where everyone's dying and frying and melting and rotting. She just can't die completely. She got buffed up even higher. Cersei becomes a pathetic, sad woman who doesn't know what to do. Jaime Lannister throws out all the progression that he had to go give Cersei a hug and try to save her, and completely pisses on his redemption story. Daenerys goes from somebody who wants to help the people and save the people and do the right thing, and she wanted to protect the innocent and groups of people, and she was going to be a just ruler and good to people. All these things that she was going to do, and then she just goes mad queen or whatever. All of a sudden, she just completely flips as well. Like, it all falls into place behind Daenerys' character. She flips completely, and guess what? So isn't everybody else going to flip completely. Just everybody completely out of, like, so half the people out of character. Tyrion? How about Tyrion? How about the fucking little guy? Let's go into him. He is the most competent, unbelievable, smart. That's all he has is his fucking brain. That's the whole point. He's so goddamn smart. That's his thing. He's fucking epically smart. He's so smart. It's almost unbelievable. But he was never given a chance as a Lannister because he was a small guy. And what he didn't, he gives away Varys. He makes the mistake of telling certain people this and that. He makes multiple mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. So all of a sudden, he's become just like an emotional idiot. And Jon Snow is just kind of there, you know? I don't know, man. I am shocked as a fairly casual listener of this show, fairly casual viewer of Game of Thrones. I am shocked at some of the character de-evolution in this episode and some of the unbelievability of some of this. And I know that, like, it's not that big a deal to me because, listen, zombies and dragons, okay? There's fucking zombies. So stuff isn't that unbelievable to me. Like, Arya killing the Night King wasn't unbelievable to me. I thought that was cool. I understood what happened. I was surprised it was her because I thought she would kill Cersei and that was it. But you know, I mean, it felt like the Hound's death made sense. I mean, Jaime and Cersei had a pathetic death, which in a way, and you know what the thing is, in a way I can see that. I can see Jaime, like, he's always been a piece of shit, and he kind of dies a piece of shit, kind of, but he's trying to do the right thing for someone he can't help but love, even though they're garbage. And, you know, Cersei, she just cries and lets all the people die. You know, she never gives the order to ring the bell. You know, so I guess we assume Jaime rang the bell, but I never saw him do it. I saw him trying to get to it and running through the people and all these bodies and everyone's dead and fried, but Arya made it out and Jon made it out. Even Grey Worm or whatever his name is. He's the first guy to throw a spear at the Lannister army when they've surrendered. Even him. And now maybe he is upset. The girl he loves is dead. They killed her. And those are the outfits that killed her. So I can see that one a little bit. But even he kind of flips, you know. Grey Worm, he's like, all right, I'm cool, calm, collected, leader, general guy. And then he's like, all right, it's on. Like, I'm going to throw my spear at these defenseless people now. You know, whatever. I just felt like everything was done to be like, didn't see that shit coming, huh? How about that? It was just wild, man. And I think it takes away, unfortunately, from seasons of building for Cersei. For wanting to see this person dead, for Jaime's redemption. So Cersei's death and overtaking kind of meant not a lot. It was underwhelming to me. Jaime Lannister's storyline and progression and completion didn't mean that much in the end. To me. You know, Varys just dies doing what he always does or whatever. Whatever. The dragons are insanely powerful now. The dragon is insanely powerful. Cersei's thrown all her story out the window. Daenerys. Everything about her that you could have liked and everything that she said, it was all bullshit. She's insane. And Jon's a sucker. Arya can't die. She's Superwoman. And A bunch of innocent people are dead, and the place where everyone was fighting for to get to get on the throne is worthless. The place was burned to shit. Who the fuck wants to rule on the Game of Thrones now, or on the thrones? Who wants to sit on the throne? Who wants to sit on a pile of rubble as shit? Sign me up. I wrote in my notes, Jaime Lannister starts as a piece of shit and dies as a piece of shit. But I guess, like, you're not supposed to think that if he rang the bell, right? I mean, in the comments down below, can someone tell me, is it just assumed he rang the bell? Why didn't we physically seeing him do that? Or did we? And, like, did my TV go out? Did I miss something? Wouldn't it have been more epic if he had been stabbed to, like, almost death? Jaime Lannister was stabbed. He's bleeding all over the place. And all he's trying to do is save everybody by ringing the bell. To say, listen, they give up. They give up. You did it. And Jaime Lannister's crawling towards the bell. Crawling. There's blood all over the place. Euron stabbed him already. And he's fucking ringing the bell with his one arm, trying his hardest to ring the bell. And that causes Daenerys to hold off and stop the fight, like she said she would. I don't want to kill these innocent people. Stop the fight. So maybe some of the soldiers died. Maybe a couple innocent people kind of died because some buildings fell down. But Daenerys calls off the attack, and everything is okay, and everything is good. And maybe after like that was Jaime's sacrifice, and he passes out, bleeding to death, and he's dead. And he looks up, maybe he even sees Cersei, and she's like somewhere across the way, or sees her, and he just looks at her, and she's looking at him, and she's crying or whatever. And then after that, maybe somebody fires a spear shot or whatever, and it hits the dragon. Doesn't kill the dragon, but it hurts the dragon. And then Cersei, and then Daenerys flips right there, right? She did what they wanted, which was, okay, we called it off. They rang the bell. We win. You know, but now somebody, overzealous soldier, or somebody makes a mistake on the bad guy's side, and the Lannisters fires one more shot, hits the damn dragon, or somebody kills Grey Worm or whatever by, you know, so again, somebody just doesn't stop fighting for whatever reason, and then Daenerys just snaps at that point, right? And then she decides, fuck everything, and she goes crazy. Because then that would have explained it a little bit better, and you know, you kind of could see what was going on. So you got Jaime Lannister's story arc pretty well done. He did the right thing. He did that amazing thing. Wow, he sacrificed. His story arc is completed. Jaime Lannister went from piece of shit to guy redemption story. And yet you got the same result with Daenerys flipping out. And then maybe you get Arya or somebody, you know, killing Cersei as she falls out the rooftop or whatever. And but Daenerys continues to kill everyone and going crazy and shit. And then what you would have had was a good ending for Cersei, a good ending for Jaime. You could have had Arya get knocked out almost right away, right? So when the Hound says, get out of here, don't do this to yourself, don't spend your life doing this. So maybe Cersei gets killed by somebody else, or maybe Arya doesn't listen to the Hound and she kills Cersei, and then, you know, maybe Arya wants to help the Hound now, and the Hound's like, don't help me. This has been a long time coming for me. I have to face him alone. I have to face this alone. I spent my whole life doing this. This is where we say goodbye, blah, blah, blah. Arya leaves after killing Cersei. Then some bricks fall down and knock out Arya maybe, and now we don't see Arya again until either the end of the episode or the next episode at the beginning in a pile of rubble. As opposed to she's just running through everything like a fucking video game, surviving like crazy. Now you've made Arya like, oh my God, you completed Arya's thing. She killed Cersei, the thing she wanted. You know, maybe even the Mountain kills Arya. Maybe the Mountain kills Arya, but Arya smiles anyway. Because even though the Mountain's killed her, Arya's happy because she killed Cersei. She completed what she wanted to do. And then the Hound fights the Mountain. You know, I don't know. All these different things would have made more sense with the characters, and then it would have given you a more satisfying ending, and you still could have flipped Daenerys into the Mad Queen if you wanted. And it would have made more sense, and it would have been more forgivable because all the other characters got a decent payoff. But I'm sorry, the payoff that we got from most of these characters was not good. Not good. I can't believe these guys just want to go write Star Wars. They're like, I can't wait to do Star Wars now. Because George R.R. Big Fuck won't write another book. But anyway, in the end, Game of Thrones, I thought I liked the episode in a way. I was entertained by it. I liked it. But again, the payoff for the ending of these characters fell way short for me. And now when I rewatch Game of Thrones, I'm always just going to be thinking, oh, this doesn't really matter. Jamie just goes back to being an idiot. And, oh, this one just dies. Yeah, whatever. You know, it's just not going to be as good to rewatch this app. I don't think people understand that. When they fuck up ending seasons and you don't get payoffs, like, the rewatch becomes, you watch it way less. But anyway, that's my review or rant about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5. We have Episode 6 coming up next, and a lot of people ask me what Leah thought. Leah is angry. Leah's so angry that I believe she read the spoilers for the last episode and planned on, she didn't even, she claimed she wouldn't watch the last episode. That's how mad Leah is. So that's all you need to know about that. It is what it is. Whatever. Game of Thrones. Hope you guys subscribe to my channel. I've got a bunch of YouTube channels. YouTube.com/CorruptedPodcast, which is Corrupted Nation now. YouTube.com/Joe Cronin Show. And my Patreon. Please check out the Patreon. Tons of hours of podcasts over there that aren't here on YouTube. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. If you guys like what I do, we definitely need your funding over there, and you get a bunch of content, too. It's not like you're just supporting with money for nothing. You get a bunch of shit. Hope you enjoyed this. If you want to tweet me, you can tweet me at CorruptedPod, at CorruptedPod. Email me, JoeCroninShow@yahoo.com, JoeCroninShow@yahoo.com. And leave a comment down below. I'm going to read some of your comments and go through them and maybe do a follow-up video. Game of Thrones! Yeah. Here are some other videos you might have missed that I've put out. Check them out. Or just rewind this and rewatch it and leave a bunch of comments. I don't know.